People always ask if the Amityville Horror was real. I tell them this. I don't care what anyone believes anymore, because I lived there. We moved into the house in December. It was cheap. Way too cheap. 6 bedrooms, 3 floors, right on the water. My parents kept saying it was a blessing, a miracle we didn't deserve. They didn't tell us about the murders until after we had unpacked. 6 people shot in their beds, all in the middle of the night. No signs of a struggle. The real estate agent smiled when she told us, like it was just an awkward detail. I remember the house felt wrong from the start. Not haunted, just watching. Like it had learned how to wait. The cold came first. No matter how high we turned the heat, the house stayed freezing. Our breath fogged the air at night. My younger brother woke up crying, saying his room felt like a freezer. Then the smells started. Rotting garbage, sour metal, and something sweet underneath it, all like decay, trying to hide itself. My mom scrubbed the walls daily, convinced mold was spreading. But the stains kept coming back, seeping through the paint like the house was sweating. At night, we heard footsteps pacing the hallway, always between 3 o'clock and 3:30 a.m. I was the first one who heard the voices clearly. At night, when the house went quiet, I'd hear whispering behind my bedroom walls. Not words, just breathing. Slow, patient, like someone learning how to speak. One night, I pressed my ear to the wall. Something whispered my name. I screamed. My parents said it was stress, the house settling, old pipes. But then my dad started changing. He became angry, violent, distant. He stopped sleeping. Just sat in the dark living room at night, staring at the windows like he was waiting for someone to come home. He started talking to the house. I heard him whispering in the basement, laughing quietly like someone had just told him a joke. When my mom begged him to leave, he screamed that the house was ours now, that it chose us. I saw his reflection once in the hallway mirror. His face wasn't lined up with his body. It smiled before he did. That's when the walls began to bleed. A thick, black-red slime oozed from the cracks, dripping down the stairs, pooling on the floor like something alive. It smelled like iron and rot. My brother locked himself in the bathroom, screaming that something was climbing out of his closet. We found claw marks inside the doorframe. My mom tried calling priests, investigators, psychics. One man walked inside, froze, and refused to go upstairs. He said the house wasn't haunted. He said it was occupied. The basement was the heart of it. No matter how many lights we turned on, it stayed dark. The shadows didn't move right. Sound died down there, like the house was swallowing it. One night, I followed my dad downstairs. I found him kneeling in front of the wall. There was a hidden room we'd never noticed before. Inside were deep scratches carved into the concrete tally marks. Hundreds of them. And in the center of the room, something whispered from the dark. This is where it listens. The house wouldn't let us leave. Doors slammed shut. Windows sealed themselves. The temperature dropped so fast our skin burned. My brother began convulsing, screaming in a voice that wasn't his. The walls screamed back. I remember my mom praying, crying, begging anything to help us. I remember my dad standing perfectly still, smiling. He said, "It doesn't want us to go." That's when the house showed us what it really was. Shadows crawled across the ceilings. Faces pushed out of the walls, mouths open, silent and stretched. Hands reached from mirrors, from floors, from inside our chests. The house wasn't possessed. It was feeding. We got out at dawn. I don't remember how. Only that suddenly we were outside, barefoot in the snow, watching the house sit quietly behind us like nothing had happened. The police said we were hysterical. The church refused to comment. People called us liars. We moved away, changed our names, tried to forget. Years later, I went back. The house was still there, clean, silent, empty. But as I stood across the street, I noticed something new. The windows were open. Lights were on, and inside a family was unpacking boxes. I tried to scream, to warn them, but the house only whispered one last thing in my ear. We never let anyone leave.